you don't want to buy a player that isn't relevant in 2 or 3 years anymore, because you won't get back your investment.
Welcome back, everyone, to the SlabStoxFC show. My name is Aaron, your host for today. Like always, I am joined here by Chris from German Sports Card Investor. He is out in Europe, out in Germany, and he has a great perspective on the card market to share with us today, something very different from most of us who live in America and are able to readily get cards whenever we want. Chris has got a different perspective and something that's really going to help you learn about maybe what's going on in Europe and how we can forecast that going forward. So, Chris, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining me. Let's hear about your collecting and investing journey with soccer and how you got into it.
First, thanks for having me. I started with collecting again roughly a year ago. So, of course, I was a kid of the 90s, and we also had this whole wax area, junk wax area here in Germany. So I was always keen to collect cards, etc. So I started a year back with football, basketball, and hockey. And then I realized that probably there is a soccer market out there. But then I realized that there isn't really product out there, or the product like the Prism World Cup, etc., were hard to get, because it seems that either the most people just collected them or stored them and didn't sell them or wanted to sell them, or there wasn't any product out there in the European market.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Gotcha. Cool. So what type of cards have you been able to pick up in Germany? And is it, are you able to get them? Is it hard to get them? Are you able to collect your Mbappes and other guys, or what's the climate like?
So the problem is, to be honest, I was a bit late was really looking for it. So at the point I was looking for it, the European market in general, so eBay Europe was already empty, say it like this,
yeah.
or they had prices that were insane, like this. So I'm used to buy cards in the US, but the problem for every European is that if we buy cards from the US and we import them, we have to pay sales tax. In Germany, it's 19% from the complete value of the package. And if the package is also over $150 declared, I have also add to that 15-20% duty taxes. So for Europeans, it is not easy to buy cards in the US, or if you do it blindly. So my first purchases were just blindly. I thought, okay, cool, they have this global shipment program from eBay, and then the card cost 3 times what the card itself costed, because I had to pay taxes, etc. So collecting and buying in Europe is a bit harder because of that. There are, of course, ways to get through that, like declaring not the real value of the card, or so that you have to pay less tax. But I think we have here the same problem you have, that there is no product out there. So we here in Germany, or in Europe in general, we have a huge sticker market. So everything in the past was just collecting stickers. So on every World Cup, on every Euro, you get spammed by stickers here. So you have Panini, of course, they bring out their sets, but you also get them at every purchase on your grocery store. You get a package with the German team or something like this. So every weekend, when there are big events like the World Cup or Euro, there are trade fairs where kids can trade their stickers with others, so they can collect the stickers they still need. So this was always a huge market here. So the sticker market is, you could say it's the same like the sports card market in the US, with the same volume, same interest in it, etc. So you have also stickers for the Bundesliga. You have stickers for the clubs themselves, like Dortmund or Bayern Munich. And that's the main way of collecting everything related to football or soccer here in Germany or in Europe in general. You have from Topps and from Panini card sets. From Panini, it's FIFA 365. From Topps, it's Match Attacks. They also have parallel cards, etc. but they are more like a trading game. But
Yeah.
even that, and you can already see that there's a huge interest in it, because YouTubers who are do pack openings from these trading cards get 10,000 to 15,000 views. So there is a market, but we don't have the product available.
Yeah, so like Topps Chrome Champions League, back when that released, in 2018 and 2017, was there any even shot to get that product sourced directly to Germany? Like from my understanding, looking at how Panini and Topps handles their American-made products, they don't necessarily allocate a whole lot out into Europe yet. And is that going to change going forward? Like, what's the vibe you're getting on that?
This is already changed. So looking to the official Panini shop the last 6 months or something like this, you can see that they are offering more and more products directly in the shop. So we get it a week later, like the next product that will be available for soccer is the Select Euro 2020 set. We will get it on the last of September, and you can already order it. And the last set was the Chronicle set. This was sold out in a day in the Panini shop. So I was thinking, well, maybe I should buy one, but at the later the day they were all sold. So the biggest market was the UK market. You got a lot of cards from the UK.
Yeah. So when Panini puts up the boxes for sale, is that through a Panini EU or a Germany site only, to where only people who have access to those products in those countries can get it?
Correct. So you won't see it in any stores like Target, Walmart, etc. What you have in the US. So it will only be available online at the moment, and that's Panini has their stores in the UK, in Germany, etc. And then you directly order it from Panini or for Topps.
Yeah, that's interesting, because I can feel the change of the tides here as the soccer market grows. As in Europe, they get more accustomed to the cards versus the stickers, as we were talking about. It just seems like that everything is shifting towards Europe getting more product, people on Europe being able to get the actual Select Prism Optic Donruss sets. And if that happens, that'll be a really widespread growth in terms of children, and then also people like yourself that are able to get their hands on the stuff in person, learn about it, and then it just all is a trickle-down domino effect from there, and can really build the soccer card market on Europe.
I mean, it makes sense because Europe is the biggest soccer market out there. So, of course, they have to push out product. And as long as we don't have product, no one will get into it. But you can see in general that more and more people are collecting and investing in sports cards. So you will see on the grading services. So Europe is a big market for Pokemon. And Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic the Gathering. So you see on these YouTube videos from the grading services for this, that they get more and more sports cards and more football cards or NFL cards, more and more basketball, NBA cards, and hockey, etc. So we see that there is a market there, or that there's a market starting for this. And as soon as Panini and Topps or whoever is pushing out product here, I guarantee that it will be a hit and that a lot of people will start collecting.
Yeah, and I think we have to look at if you think about it right now, Panini and Topps are just making products mostly for the US, and they were selling out now because of how hot soccer has become. Do they really ratchet up their print runs to start to meet EU demand? And then do we see so much more supply become available in soccer? And the interesting thing is we have to understand that even if Panini produces more and puts more out in Europe, it's going to get that many more fans into it. Much more demand will come. That probably, the supply and demand equilibrium will stay the same, versus if they just pumped so much more supply into the US and then we didn't have that many more buyers here, then it could become a problem. But, it sounds like if they can get that supply into Europe, that can be a really good thing for the market and for the global market. It'd be nice to see some changes with how the shipping and the eBay works back from the US to the EU, because for myself, a year ago when I was buying soccer cards, I was seeing like 70% of my purchases were coming from either the EU or Asia. And I wasn't getting hit with any import taxes, anything other than your $5 to $10 shipping. So it's easy for me. I was willing to wait 4 weeks for the cards because I wasn't planning on selling them for a while. But it sounds like as more cards are coming back over to America that were originally in the EU and Asia, it sounds like that's much harder to get them back to the EU and Asia, which is why these releases are going to be so important for Topps and Panini to get them out there so that people can actually get cards in their home countries versus having to import them all.
Yeah, I mean, the other problem is for us Europeans, it is not that easy to sell. We can selling in the European market won't be a problem, but selling to the US market will be a problem because of the 4 to 6 weeks because of Corona at the moment for the shipping. So 2 weeks ago, I opened some boxes of World Cup 2018 stickers, pulled 2 Mbappe stickers, sold them for $40 each, and the person still haven't received them yet in the US. And last time I checked, they were at 20. So that's also the other problem. And of course, as soon as the product comes out, Panini needs to do marketing because we need to know that product is out there. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, they will still buy stickers or whatever they can get. So yeah, like I said, it's marketing and it's product. And then I don't even think that the print rates will be that much higher because, I mean, for Panini Topps, it's a selling point to have scarcity in it. So if the print runs are low and you have the US and the European market and then sometimes later the Asian market fighting for all the cards, it's just a win situation, I think, for the manufacturers. So.
Yeah, exactly. And think about it as an investor and as a collector, that is going to really swing the supply and demand, so that there's going to be lower supply and more demand. Like we saw over the last 2 months how soccer cards increased in value. Yeah. This seems to be a cyclical thing that we'll see in the future. Obviously, we can't always expect cards to go up 3 times in value in a couple months. That won't happen. We need to see the steady growth going into the Euro, going into the World Cup. And then, of course, World Cup 2026, which is huge for us in North America because it's coming to North America. That'll be another huge thing for Americans and Canadians to get involved.
That's the thing I invest in. So all the things or the cards I will buy regarding soccer will be for the 2026 area. So as soon as the World Cup is in the US, I think everything you buy now will go up in that time period.
Yeah, and especially just, the main names, the people that people know, and then the players that will be marketed hard as star players in the U.S. This is for sure, soccer in general it's a longer game. I mean, there is some short-term success that can be had with the grading, which I do want to get into really in a little bit here. But there's short-term success in grading, and also we have to more think that, soccer is a longer game where we have massive worldwide events with the Euro Cup, the World Cup, definitely a lot that can change. But grading, really quick, do you have access to grading cards in Germany? So what's the process like for that? Is it really difficult?
The thing with grading is I did it myself. So I sent cards to SGC a while ago. The problem is when I get back these cards, I have to pay tax for these cards. So I pay tax twice on them. And like I mentioned earlier, we have a huge Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh scene. So there are already grading services, mostly in the UK, that specialized on grading these cards that now offer PSA grading for modern sports cards and sports cards prior 2012. For me, it cost me now with the grading service I use, $18 for one card PSA grading.
Nice. So they are making an initiative to get grading more accessible out in EU.
Yes, correct. So awesome. All these grading services that were originally Pokemon grading services, have now extended their contract with PSA and now are offering modern sports cards and sports cards in general.
Awesome. Just another reason why soccer card market's going to keep building globally. Yeah. It's really cool.
So the first submission videos were all soccer. So all the sports cards in it were stickers and Prism World Cup cards and like this. So
awesome. Great. Well, we got time for one last topic here, and I want to touch on something that you brought up to me before, and it's about the FIFA Ultimate Team game, the online video game. Everyone knows about it. How big Ultimate Team is. It does the most revenue for a video game in-game purchases for a sports game ever. What can we see with FIFA Ultimate Team, and how can we see this as maybe even being a dark horse candidate to really drive the market even further over these next 2, 3, 4 years?
I mean, the soccer market in general is a big if market. If this happen, then we get a nice outcome. And like we talked about it earlier, I see a huge potential in all these FIFA players that are investing a ton of money in their Ultimate Team each year for every FIFA game. So as soon as you tell them, hey, you can get a product, you can get a sports card, and you can build your Ultimate Team with a sports card, and it will still be worth money in 1, 2, or 5 more years. I believe they will put so much money into buying sports cards than in FIFA. And look how many people are playing FIFA Ultimate Team, and in the US, worldwide. So it's like you said, it's I think the biggest income for EA Sports. With all the coins going in for the Ultimate Team market.
Yeah, people spend in total, it's like $1 billion market for in-game purchases for EA Sports. If you are watching this and you are not sure what FIFA is, it's the soccer video game made by EA Sports like Madden. And then Ultimate Team is where you build a team with like digital cards basically that all have different ratings, and you can open digital packs. And you can open digital packs that most of the time you have to spend money to get the actual packs or good packs in the game. So another huge opportunity. Chris, what are your overall thoughts on the overall card market right now? This is the last thing I want to talk about with you. What are you seeing is going right? What are you seeing is going wrong? And how are you trying to, stay focused in it right now?
I would say stay away from the sticker market. The sticker market is a bubble that it's already bursting a bit. Everything prior to 2014 regarding stickers is something you may invest. Everything after that, you shouldn't invest, because you can buy these stickers directly from Panini from the factory for 10 cents each. So there's no scarcity in it. So I wouldn't, I wouldn't invest in stickers in general. You will also see a lot of graded stickers coming back in the next few weeks and months that will flood the market and probably make the prices crazy. Soccer at the moment for me is, like I said earlier, a long time invested market. Buy these cards at the moment is the best price you can get. Grade them, or ideally buy them graded. Put them somewhere. Wait for at least for the next World Cup, because World Cup always has a bigger audience worldwide. And of course, wait for 2026. As soon as US guys can watch these teams and players in your own country at your own time zone, I think that will be the biggest push for the soccer market, and then it will be pay off.
Totally agree.
Be careful. I think, like I said, at the moment, don't buy just because you want to buy. The market needs some regulation at the moment. At the moment, everything is crazy. See that, of course, there's more and more products coming, because everyone is now looking on the addict for the sports cards they bought 4 years ago. But yeah, be a bit more careful. And like everyone says, and I know it's repeating and it's annoying, research, because soccer, especially for someone who is totally new to the sport, I think I always compare it to me and baseball. I have nothing. We don't have baseball here. So for me, it would need a long time for research before I go into the market, because you don't want to buy a player that isn't relevant in 2 or 3 years anymore, because you won't get back your investment.
Yep, totally agree. Thank you, Chris. Follow him at German Sports Card Investor on Instagram. This was the third discussion of SlabStoxFC. We have more coming in the future, some great guests that are going to be joining us. I think this was a great perspective on the EU market and how it's changing. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next week.